Reports indicate that 27 people have been killed, including 4 police officers, by bandits in the last 40 days. How dire, how worst will this situation be? When will this banditry story be at the national table? It's a bit sickening. President Ruto, according to me, I think has been handling this matter, but not with the urgency it actually deserves. Eve of Christmas, he was in Baringo and even tried to speak the Kalenjin language, addressing these people and actually issuing threats. He threatened them that you're not going to be a thorn in my government. And when I saw him speaking in Kalenjin, I knew I was actually abrasive, because I'm one person who initially thought and has been insisting that this matter needed diplomacy. But as things go, we are staring at a disaster. And these are people, or rather this is a group that do not really need that diplomacy. We are handling it a bit casual. Ruto gave ultimatum to Kindiki for Kindiki to go and stay in the North Rift region until that matter is resolved. The issue about staying there is not new. I remember when Ruto was in Baringo, he was giving the same threat story that I told the RC, the regional commander, or rather regional commissioner in Rift Valley, to pitch tent there so that they can, so that schools can reopen and people go there. As we talk, schools are yet to reopen there. And because of the fear, who is going to take his children there? Do we really have to? We are putting the lives of valuable police in the line, but we simply don't get, we aren't seeing really an intention to clear this mess. You know, I listened to the president speaking about this today in Baringo, in Nakuru.
Hebu tafadhali tuketi chini kidogo. Najua tuko na matatizo vile viongozi hapa wamesema ya mambo ya usalama pale, especially hapa North Rift. Kati ya wale waziri mumeonyeshwa hapa, waziri wa usalama Profesa Kindiki hayuko hapa kwa sababu ako pale kwa hiyo sehemu. Leo alikuwa Baringo, jana alikuwa Turkana. Nimemwambia Profesa Kindiki atoke ofisi Nairobi aende aishi kule North Rift mpaka hiyo mambo ya wananchi kupoteza maisha yao iishe. Na tumeweka mpango kamili na ile uwezo wote wa serikali. Tutahakikisha wale watu wajeuri wachache wako pale wanajaribu kutuonyesha kiburi, sisi tutapimana na wao na tutahakikisha kwamba hakuna Mkenya anapoteza maisha yake.
This issue, this has been a perennial problem in the region. The Trans Nzoia governor, George Natembeya, is it about time we listen to what he is saying? I think if you listen to what he said there are a lot of dots that we need to join. If there is, and he's saying that even from the previous administration, there's never been a clear intention to address this matter. And I wanted to get his point here.
Na nilipambana na mambo ya usalama hapa kabisa. Kuna mambo rais ambayo hutawahi kuambiwa. Jambo la kwanza ni kwamba wakati mimi nilikuwa RC for 3 years na nimeona PS Raymond yako hapo, hakuna hata ndururu, and I mean 1 cent, ambayo nilipewa kupambana na uhalifu. Not 1 shilling. Jambo la pili, au maafisa wetu ambao naona wanapigwa marisasi na kukufa, hakuna hata.
Listen to what Natembeya said. I want to humbly request you to subscribe to our channel. Click the notification bell, and for those who have subscribed, I want to continue thanking you. Thank you very much for your support. When you subscribe, you help us grow this channel, and also you also help us increase the revenue stream, because that's how we get the stories about what's happening need to hit our newspaper headlines for a whole week. They need to frequent our headlines so that we can coerce the state to act swiftly. We might have looked at this as a waziri issue or as a waziri role, but I think we need a collective responsibility. Threats and intimidation has not worked. In fact, there is a lot of blame games on the leaders. Someone saying this, the other one saying that. The talk on this is not enough. Now, as leaders talk tough, the cattle rustlers are having a payday, a field day in the Kerio. President comes from that area. That's his, generally some of his maybe favorable counties. But we seem not to see the zeal. And of course, I don't say that he's supposed to have that much of that zeal because he comes from that place. Someone was saying, if I will be president, the Migingi issue will not be there. But then, I'm simply saying, because people will expect that maybe it is from that place, he doesn't have any interest there, it will be easy to address it. We've put the deputy president to be in charge of coffee and tea reforms in Mount Kenya. You know, why don't we get someone from that place to address this matter? Kindiki comes from Naraka. He's a waziri, yes. But we've had waziri, we've never had Mtaani before. Why don't we get someone from within to address that issue? Now, I've seen Kipchumba Murkomen or even political leaders drawn from Rift Valley region calling for Ruto to deploy the military officers there. You can listen to what Natembe is saying about a previous attempt. According to Murkomen, Transport CS, there is need for complete disarmament of communities, and that will be the most effective solution to restore peace in the region. Total disarmament. Now, I'm not an expert in security, but there is some observations I want to make in relation to this. This is not the first video. I did a video, I think, last year about this thing. Yeah. I think we need to profile the problem. The aspect that the banditry is scramble for cows, I don't think is the premise. We need to have a bigger view. I think the state need to have a more complex view of this group. Maybe they're not bandits. Maybe there is more into it. You know, they're opening up. In fact, one thing that maybe we're not seeing are our borders porous. Okay, that's the question. And if it can thrive, what is it thriving in? Because if it persists, Kenya, we have other enemies. How about if our enemies use that route to attack us and even inflict that internal fight within that area? We need to look at this. It's not simplistic, because it cannot be about chaos. Remember, these bandits even attacked policemen when walikuwa wamebeba tu bunduki. Policemen walikuwa na ng'ombe. They've killed children going to school. Civilians, people who watoto wako na ng'ombe. It's not about the cows. What is the resource? Is it about that land? What are they doing with it? Even hata watu washatoka. I realized they employ quite a theory where they want to make sure that they wipe up everything. But then, what are they fighting for? We need to find out. It's not about the cows. Wanuo watoto wenye hawana ng'ombe. The other thing I think is this. Just picking a point from Natembeya, President Ruto should audit past interventions and why did they fail, so that we find a different solution. In fact, what Natembeya is saying there is that we've never had a clear intention to address that matter, rather to bring it to a logical conclusion. He said, look at the way he said that. Even there was just some optics. And sadly, even Ruto seems to be going that way of optics. You know, telling the country that have sent waziri there is just to threaten those people that look here, nimewatumia sasa waziri hapo. So waziri, yes, amewekwa kwa protected sasa, na yeye naye ako na protection. But sasa atafanya nini? Okay, how is taking Kindiki there going to solve it? Or are we crafting the downfall of Kindiki at the expense of that ending that banditry? We need to look at that, and I'm picking that auditing what was done in the past. Why did it fail? So what can be done differently? Have we exhausted all the means? Now, Ruto should also escalate this intervention and consider whether we're dealing with cross-border syndicate. Because who is the beneficiary? Where are they taking the cows? Is it within our border? Wanapeleka hizi ng'ombe wapi? Kama ni ng'ombe ni wapi? You know, they're getting guns. We once did an expose in this country on how guns is easy to get. But then, 300 armed. Bunduki 300. Aya, hapana. See hapa. It cannot be sold from Nairobi, Bebwe, mpaka no. It cannot be from Nairobi. So that's why I'm like, we need to look at that. But lastly, I think we need to deploy high-profile intelligence so that we just find out. Let's profile the beneficiaries of this. That will settle it. If we can't track the boys, let's look at the owner of the cow, the owner of the dog. Who's backing? Let's go for the beneficiaries so that Ruto, this will be settled. But it starts from what Anatambia said, an intention to clear it. If there is no intention, let's not put the lives of our soldiers in line. We must have, the leaders must have intention to solve it. The data is disturbing and it's not proving. I think every day we've had stories of bandits, lakini haziko kwa headlines, ziko huko chini. We need these stories to be the headline in the newspapers and in the mainstream so that it sets an agenda for only 1 week, just the way the hunger could set agenda for us. And we got an intervention and this was solved.